the way it's been going. A lot of youngsters. The Mariners able to get a win on Friday night. Couldn't get it last night, but it certainly was interesting. They had a 4-1 lead at one point, and then Mike Karp, when the club was down, got them back to within one in the fifth inning.
And for Mike, it's been the power that they've wanted to see, and he ends up hitting his 10th home run of the season, which, by the way, only 12 rookies have done that, and Mike, the 12th, to hit his 10th home run of the season. 2 outs. As Ken was talking about, the Mariners down by 3 runs. You get a runner on and a couple of outs, and here you go. Mike Karp doing everything that he can to get the Mariners within 1. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get past that, but Mike Karp has really come on strong this year. I know that a lot of people are optimistic about the numbers that he can put up for next year.
Yeah, should be interesting to see how it goes. All right, the starting pitcher's a lefty has been indicated. Matt Harrison goes for the Texas club. And how about Felix? Back in there again, trying for number 15 this afternoon.
And for Felix, he has been on a really nice run as of late. He has all of his pitches working for him. His changeup will be the pitch of the day against the Texas Rangers. We saw off-speed pitches and the curveball from Bevan. I wonder if we'll see more curveballs from Felix today. Always has the good sinker, but Felix looks like he's in great shape as you look at his career against the Rangers, a 10-14 mark, but an ERA of 3.87. It's a pretty solid ERA against an offensive club like the Rangers.
You're not kidding, boy. This Rangers club packs some power. They may be stifled by Hernandez in this one, but last night, remember, 3 homers in the 3rd inning. Elvis Andrus, Josh Hamilton, and Adrian Beltre. And I mean, he tagged one off the facade of the second deck. Should be a good one. Rangers Mariners coming up.
Better banking by CenturyLink. Quest is now CenturyLink. Visit CenturyLink.com to learn more. And by the Emerald Queen Casino, inviting you to get your groove on with the Commodores October 22nd. For tickets, go to EmeraldQueen.com. Hi, friends. Angie Mentinck here in center field. And Bill Kruger pointed out to me that the guys in the Mariners lineup with the best numbers against the lefty Matt Harrison aren't playing, but not because Eric Wedge wouldn't like them to, but because they are hurt. For a rundown, we check in with Tom Glasgow and the skipper for our Geico quote of the game.
Well, Skipper, let's talk about your walking wounded list, rather lengthy. Why don't you tell us what's going on?
Well, we got a couple guys dinged up. Smoke's still, nursing, the groin, but he's close to being back. Ryan has the upper back and neck. He's going to probably be a couple of days. Sean Figgins is going to be done for the year. Still feeling it, so we'll continue, to look at him and then trying to figure out what's going on with Casper Wells. He's feeling a little bit under the weather and just a little bit off. So, but we're still all right. We got some guys run out there, and guys want us to continue to see playing ball and hopefully win this series today.
In terms of these injury issues, it really is a message to your team as you get ready for an off season and the importance of that.
Well, the importance of where we are in the season, too, because, ultimately this is going to be the most important time of the year. This is going to be our most important baseball in the future. Next year, the year after, these games need to mean everything for us because we're going to be fighting to get in the playoffs. So, we need to have everybody available. And, we got a lot of young players here that are experiencing things for the first time, and they're going to have to go home with a fever this winter and, really work hard to be, that much stronger next year.
Last home start for Felix. Talk about what he means to this club, having had him as a manager now for almost a full season.
Well, he's been a treat, both on and off the field. Very consistent personality, very consistent worker. Great player, obviously. Leadership qualities with our starting pitchers, and has a lot of presence both on and off the field. So I couldn't be more pleased with Felix.
And Felix will try to finish strong here at home. We are trying to stay dry in center field. There's liquid sunshine coming down right now. Yesterday, they closed the roof. It was the first time that they had to close the roof in a game since July. Wow. All right, hey, little ones, they love the puddles, and they love Ultra Mo. It's Fan Appreciation Day, or more specifically, Kid Appreciation Day. First pitch between the Mariners and the Rangers coming up next on Root Sports.
Ah, yes, Kings Court. You get a ticket out in that left field corner. You've got yourself a T-shirt, a bright one, and there they are, right in back of Felix Hernandez, ready to help support him as he goes against the heavy-hitting Texas Rangers here this afternoon. Well, we're set to play baseball. A little bit of drizzle, so the roof as they get ready to go is being extended, and we'll play under the ceiling here this afternoon. And we are underway, and there is ball one to Ian Kinsler leading off. 65 degrees as this one begins. Kinsler, a .247 hitter, is struggling with a bat right now, and he takes a strike. 1-1. Lots of home runs for the second baseman, 29, and he's driven in 73. He's hit 8 of those home runs in September, but of late a little bit on the chilly side. 2-1.
And for Kinsler, he likes to hit mistakes. He wants the pitches close to him. He's a pull hitter. You can tell by how close he stands to the plate.
This one right on the outside corner. 2-2. He doesn't like the call. He turns back to the plate umpire, Dan Bellino. Tony Randazzo, the umpire at first. Larry Vanover at second. Brian Gorman in back of third. Here's a bouncing ball in the hole. Liddy, great play. He's up to throw. One high. Oh, baby. Carp digs it out. What a way to start. Some sensational defense. Alex Liddy to Mike Carp.
Well, we've seen Alex play a little bit of third base earlier when he was on the road. Made a nice backhanded play. This is a great play over in the hole. Gets up quickly. Not an easy pick for Mike Carp, the starting first baseman today, as he short hops it over there right off the edge of the grass, but Carp able to stay with it and pick it cleanly to get Kinsler out. Well, hockey goalie there for Mike Carp. Good play.
Boy, oh boy, that's something. Here is Elvis Andrus, and he takes ball one. Now, Elvis is red hot. He has an 11-game hitting streak. His average has jumped up to .279. 5 homers, 59 RBIs, and he hit that leadoff home run in the third last night. Now it's 2-0. Boy, the feel in this ballpark, we talked about it last night, with the roof on is so different than with the roof off.
It is, but I'm happy that we have the roof.
Oh, we need it.
Yes.
The ninth inning might have taken a couple of hours last night had there not been a roof to put on late in the game. There's a strike. 2-1 with that rain that came along.
See that last pitch on the outside corner. Dan Bellino, the home plate umpire. If Felix can consistently get that pitch on the edges of the plate, he is going to be a tough customer today.
Burying them on the outside edge. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the 23-year-old from Venezuela, Elvis Andrus. Of course, Hernandez from Venezuela also. Boy, they're cheering big time out in the King's Court. Right center between Saunders and Ichiro, and Ichiro goes to his right to make the catch. 2 up and 2 down.
Let's take a look at the Texas Rangers batting order today. And for manager Ron Washington, Kinsler and Andrus the first 2, and then it's Hamilton. Hamilton with a big day yesterday, 4 hits including a home run. Then it's Young, Beltre, Napoli, Murphy, Cruz, the DH. He will hit 8th. And Andy Chavez, a former Mariner, will hit 9th and play center field. Numbers for Felix Hernandez, a 3.3 ERA, 223 in the third innings for Felix this year, 215 strikeouts. I think we're going to see him go over 200 innings for the next 10 years. He's consistently doing that now.
Little ground ball off the bat of Josh Hamilton.
I had to laugh. Home plate umpire Dan went to throw the ball to Felix, and he missed him by about 10 feet. Almost threw it into center field.
Arm's getting tired late in the season.
It's been a long year, even for the umpires.
Might have tendonitis or a little sore shoulder. 1 strike, the count on Hamilton, and he is a good one. Outside 1-1. Josh winning the AL MVP just a season ago. He's a hit away from 300. That's a strike right around the letters, and it's 1-2.
And that's a good pitch for Felix if he can get it. 92 miles an hour on his fastball. His fastball will be 92 to 94. They'll throw that pitch in on the lefties and run it on the inside corner. Typically, they'll give up on it like Hamilton just did.
There's a shot to right field, a base hit. That's his 5th hit. He's 5 for 10 in this 3-game series.
Let's Take a look at the defense behind Felix in this afternoon's game. In the outfield, Trayvon Robinson is in left. Saunders out in center field. Ichiro in right. And on the infield, Alex Liddy, already a fine play. He will start at third. Rodriguez and Ackley are up the middle. Karp over at first. And Miguel Olivo back in the lineup. And he will do the catching this afternoon.
Hernandez has to work with Hamilton at first. 2 down. He'll face the cleanup hitter, Michael Young, who is 2 hits shy of 200. First pitch, a ball, and the roof is now completely covering the playing surface and the stands here at Safeco Field. 333, 11 home runs, 102 RBIs. He's hit Felix pretty well in his career. Changeup popped up into the dark roof out in shallow right. Ackley, and he makes the catch to retire the side. The highlight of the Rangers' first, a dazzling defensive play at third by Alex Liddy, and a nice pick at first by Mike Karp. Harrison.
Eric Wedge having to change things in the lineup again. Ichiro leading things off. Luis Rodriguez hitting second today and playing shortstop. And it's Ackley, Olivo, the cleanup hitter. Karp, Pena, Robinson, Liddy will hit 8th, and Saunders 9th. Look at the numbers for Matt Harrison, a 3.56 ERA, 167 innings pitched for him. He has a 12-9 record. Opponent's average 262. He's given up 13 home runs this year.
And his first pitch to Ichiro in for a strike. Ichiro hitting 273. Not quite the season we normally see from Ichiro. And he is in the hole, 2 strikes. 5 home runs, 43 RBIs, 2 out of 7 in this series. Set up outside, and it's 1-2. Ichiro, so many pitchers he has owned in his career with the Mariners. Not the case with this southpaw. He's hitting 208, 5 out of 24 against Harrison. So Matt has had his number.
And it's a bit surprising when you look at Matt's numbers overall. Left-handers this year hitting 302 off of him. Much higher average than the right-handers, and you would think Ichiro, who typically wears left-handers out, would have better success. But Harrison, you can tell already, pitching him inside hard with the 2-seam fastball, trying to stay on his hands.
The 1-2, and this time he comes tight, and it's 2-2. One of the theories on left-handers who, you look at the numbers, and left-handed hitters hit pretty well against them. There's a grounder foul. Is that when you put a lefty out there, usually the left-handed hitters that are in the order are the guys that can really swing the bat, right?
Right.
The good hitting left-handed hitters. So it stands to reason on occasion that you see a southpaw and say, geez, the lefties hit him pretty well. Well, they're all the guys like Josh Hamilton and Ichiro. Those are the only lefties he sees.
That's a great point.
And Ichiro's still alive 2-2. It's not totally true, but I think the trend there is pretty accurate.
When I was first called to the big leagues and I was with the Yankees, I was talking to Don Mattingly one time, and we went through a string of 9 or 10 days where we saw nothing but right-handed hitters, and he was starting to struggle. Ichiro punches this one. It's going to be foul.
And over as Hamilton can't get there, the ball person does.
But I was talking to Donnie on the bench, and he said he was looking, and I think we were getting Chuck Finley from the Angels the next day, and he was so excited about it. And I said, why are you so excited? He goes, lefties get me right because it makes me keep my front side in there longer. And right now I've been pulling off the ball. The lefties are the ones that help me get back into that because I know I have to stay in there for the break ball. And I thought, you know, that's absolutely correct. You have to if you're going to have any success against left-handers. But here at that time, Don Mattingly, one of the best left-handed hitters in the league, and he was excited to hit somebody like Finley, who was at the time one of the best left-handed pitchers in the league. And sure enough, the next day he gets 2 hits off of him, and he was off to the races again. But that's somebody that has a really good idea. And when it goes to your point, the really good hitters, that's what they do. The left-handed hitters will stay in there on lefties, and a lot of times they'll look for the breaking ball off of them.
Boy, Ichiro having an outstanding at bat, puts the ball in play. Andrews has to hurry, and the throw gets away. It gets away. It comes in and out of the glove of Michael Young, and Ichiro is safe at first base.
We'll take a look at it. It's an 11-pitch at bat for Ichiro. Andrews gets it plenty of time. He has a strong arm, and that was in plenty of time. It looked like Michael Young, the first baseman, just missed the ball. Take a look at the rest of the defense for the Rangers. Hamilton in left, Chavez in center field. David Murphy is the right fielder today. Beltre at third. Andrews and Kinsler up the middle for the Rangers. Michael Young at first. And Mike Napoli will do the catching.
So Young picks up an error. The Mariners get the leadoff man aboard in the first. And Rodriguez ready to bunt. And the switch hitter takes ball 1. Luis playing for the injured Brendan Ryan. Got in the game last night after Ryan hurt his neck, some spasms, and Luis struck out 3 times. Quite different than his game on Wednesday night against the Yanks. 2 doubles and a home run in the 12th that won it. Here's a shot. Kinsler can't come up with it. Ichiro had to hold on. He hurries to second base as Murphy throws the ball in, and the Mariners are in business. Nobody out. First inning, runners at first and second.
Solid base hit, line drive from Rodriguez, hitting right-handed today, goes the other way. Kinsler with the diving effort. Ichiro has to hold. Doesn't want to get doubled off at first, just out of the reach of Kinsler, so he'll end up at second base. The Mariners have some action here in the first inning.
Now you get to the heart of the order. The third hitter, Dustin Ackley, the cleanup hitter, Miguel Olivo, and then the fifth hitter, Mike Carr. The catcher, Mike Napoli, setting up the defense here. Went out and chatted with Harrison. They may already change the signs a little bit with Ichiro out at second. The outfield shades to left on Ackley, more of a line drive type hitter. And he takes one low and away, ball 1. Ackley out of the University of North Carolina. First big league experience this season, and you'd have to give him an extremely high rating, batting .281, and he's played some strong defense at second base. Still a new position to him. Fastball, 1 ball, 1 strike. Played outfield in college and late in his college career, moved to first base, now plays second.
I think whatever your expectations were for Dustin when he was called up, I think that he has to have met every one of them.
Yeah. Ground ball, Kinsler. Andrews on to first to Young. He catches this one, and it's a double play. Ichiro goes over to third base. 4-6-3. So Ackley's hitting woes on this homestand continue.
It's a hard ground ball right to Kinsler. It's a room service double play. Kinsler with the backhanded flip. Andrews again with the strong arm for the double play. We'll need some clutch hitting from Miguel Olivo, who will clean up today.
So you've got Ichiro 90 feet away from the pay station. You've got Olivo leading the club in home runs and RBIs at the plate. First pitch from Harrison, strike call. Olivo has 1 hit in 5 at bats in the series. There are his numbers on the year. Well, he's played a lot for this club. He's been a real plus coming back to the Mariners this season. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Adam Moore going on the DL early in the year, and Josh Bard coming up and getting an opportunity. Chris Jimenez also having to go on the DL. Olivo has run out there on a daily basis.
They shade him a bit to right. The breaking pitch, and it's 1-2. Olivo is not the most patient hitter in the world when it comes to the breaking ball.
Well, he's aggressive, and he's going to get his hacks in. You mentioned the 18 home runs. Ties a Mariner record for catchers. And he's going to continue to make sure he gets his swings in. It's just a matter of the pitcher makes a mistake, he'll hurt you with the home run.
So Olivo strikes out. That's the way a promising first inning ends, and after 1 at Safeco, no score. Annual Oktoberfest, folks, here at the ballpark. It's right around the corner, set for Tuesday, the 27th. The M's hosting the A's. Your ticket for that game includes a seat in the Oktoberfest section, a limited edition Mariners Stein, and your first beverage at the pregame party in the pen. Sounds like a great time. Remember, though, tickets must be purchased through mariners.com/Oktoberfest. That's Tuesday, September the 27th. Here's Adrian Beltre leading off, and he fouls it right at his feet. Strike 1. Beltre always a threat, as we know here, playing for the Mariners, of course, 2005 through 2009. Hitting .287 this season. They play him deep to pull. He pulls a pitch away. Liddy cuts in front of Rodriguez and throws out Beltre. So 1 up and 1 down.
Showing some range to his left again, Liddy. The right-handed hitters in the Rangers, and the sinking action of Felix's fastball. Liddy is going to get a lot of work today on the left side of the infield. Shows a strong arm with that last play.
Here's Mike Napoli, the Rangers catcher, and he hits a little nubber. Olivo's going to have to gut him out, and he does. 1 pitch to retire. Napoli coming in hitting .317, 2-3 on the put-up. Well, catchers often make that play look so easy. It just doesn't seem easy. I mean, you got to get out of your crouch. You got to see. You got to get rid of the mask. You got to see the ball. And then you got to really move it. You've got to be quick.
You have to be quick. And Olivo, he's a tremendous athlete back there. And the other thing is a lot of times you have to pick up a moving baseball with a bare hand, which isn't easy. And on that last one, because it was towards the third baseline, he has to get his shoulders turned back around, not being too much of a hurry to make an accurate throw to first.
Man, it's a lot to do in a hurry. David Murphy is the batter. The right fielder, 7th hitter, and the count, a ball and a strike. Murphy hasn't done a lot in this series. He's been very hot with the bat lately, but the Mariners have pretty well collared him. 1 hit in 7 at bats. Two down, nobody on here in the Rangers' second. No score in the early going. Murphy first came up to the big leagues with Boston, and the count now is 2-2. Murphy, a .272 hitter, 11 homers, 43 RBIs.
It's a good changeup from Felix. I think as the game moves on, we'll see more and more of those. Felix's changeup is typically anywhere from 3 to 5 miles an hour off of his fastball, but he has tremendous movement on it, and that's the difference for Felix. The ball really sinks away from the left-handed hitters, down and away from them. They have a tough time recognizing it, even though the speed isn't big. A lot of times you talk about a changeup, pitching coaches tell you they'd like to see 8 to 10 miles an hour off. Felix is only 3 to 5.
Look at that, baby.
There it is again.
His first strikeout of the afternoon. The Rangers go 1-2-3, and Mike Carp will lead off for the M's in the second. Mike Carp leads off against Matt Harrison, tries to check his swing, and the pitch is in for a strike. Carp, Pena, and Robinson here in the second inning of a scoreless game. Back to the net, and all of a sudden 2 quick strikes on the Mariners' first baseman. Playing for the injured Justin Smoke, who has a pretty slight groin injury. Could be back in a matter of a few days.
This time of the year, I don't think there's any reason to take a chance with it.
Not at all. There's a ball, 1-2.
Would certainly help to have Justin in the lineup. The switch hitter having another right-handed power bat in the lineup against the lefty Harrison, but you don't want to take any chances with him. He's had a tough year with injuries anyways. To go into the winter and get himself healthy, looking for spring training next year. Strange injuries, you know. It's not like he's pulling a lot of muscles. It's both of his thumbs and a bad hop into the face and fractured his cheekbone.
Carp strikes out. So Mike, who hits left-handers pretty well, is out number 1 in the second inning.
Take a look at the last pitch from Felix on the strikeout. There you can see the circle change. 89 miles an hour. It looks like it's in the strike zone, and the bottom falls out of it. Murphy, a good hitter, swings over the top of it. We'll see that pitch a lot today.
It just disappears on you. Now the batter is Willie Mo Pena. He bolts one up the middle routinely. Andrews in the throw in time, 1 pitch, and there are now 2 outs. The Mariners and A's close out the 2011 season right here at Safeco on Wednesday, September 28th. And it's Northwest Getaways night here at the ballpark. All of you will have a chance to win great trips around our region, including a trip north to Victoria, British Columbia for a 2-night stay and afternoon tea at the world-famous Fairmont Empress Hotel. Great place, great city. For more information or tickets to Northwest Getaways night, visit mariners.com/getaways. Here is Trayvon Robinson, the switch hitter, ball 1. I think in the last year I must have been to Victoria 4 or 5 times. I think I was there a week or 2 ago. Nice place. And I went up Vancouver Island a ways.
On work or just for fun?
Well, the last trip was for fun. I took the family, but the league that I'm president of, the West Coast League, College Woodbat League, from Kelowna down to Klamath Falls, we're trying to add some teams, and Victoria is one of the spots. They got a nice little ballpark.
Be a great place for it.
Yeah, we're hoping. Used to have a Northwest League team there. Hoping that we get a team there before too long. Nice place, though, but I'd never been anywhere on the island except Victoria, so I went up to Nanaimo and a couple other places.
Yeah.
Big stuff. And listened to the Mariners while I was up there. Here's Robinson with a 1-2 count. Now 2-2 on Trayvon, hitting .236. Cooled off a little bit. He's had 22 at bats on this homestand, only a couple of hits. And the count is 3-2. There is Alex Liddy on deck. No scores, 2nd inning. I'll tell you, we live in an absolutely beautiful part of the country, don't we? I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yes.
Here's a ground ball. It's through, a base hit. So Trayvon Robinson comes through with 2 outs here in the 2nd inning as he singles to left.
He gets himself into a hitter's count. 95-mile-an-hour fastball that he's able to hit into the hole over on the left side of the infield. So although he's had his struggles on this homestand, today starts off well for him. You mentioned that, and of course we live here, so we're probably biased about that. But I'll tell you this: you go into the clubhouses of the teams that are visiting, they all look forward to coming here.
Oh, everybody's.
They love the city.
You go back to the very first days of the Mariners in the late 70s. Teams always loved to come out here, even though it's a bit of a flight. It's kind of out in the corner of the world, but they love to come here. 1 strike on Liddy. Of course, downtown is wonderful. The waterfront, and most of them, the players, the big leaguers, don't get out and about too far from Seattle.
No, but some of them will venture out to Snoqualmie and have breakfast and take a look and see some of our local golf courses. You know that.
Yes, that happens. Liddy looking for his 2nd major league hit, and he's in the hole 0-2. Well, I spend the, I'm like you. I've lived a lot of different places. I've lived in Hawaii a good part of my life, which
that's not too bad.
That's a pretty nice place. Yeah. And I think the beauty here matches Hawaii in many ways. In the summertime with my real job, I'll travel to Kelowna and Wenatchee and Bend, and as I mentioned, Victoria, all sorts of places, up to Bellingham for a few days, and just through the Cascades and the various passes.
We have it all here, Ken. We have it all.
You can go down to southern Oregon. You can go up to the central British Columbia, and even if you go east of the mountains, there's I love to travel down the Columbia River Gorge. I go from Portland over to Walla Walla, Tri-Cities a lot. I've covered the Northwest, and it is breathtaking. It really is.
I agree. I love every bit of it. And as you mentioned, for myself, I've been all over the place. But for the most part, growing up here, as you see the sign, I-5 North to Vancouver. This is where I wanted to be, and this is where I will be.
It's a wonderful area, and I go back, of course, when I first lived here in '77, when Dave and I started on the air. Baseball has grown tremendously, not only in throw to first, whoa, and Robinson just back, not only here in the Seattle area. I mean, you see the kids. I think the amateur programs have truly developed in that 35 years or 6 years or whatever it is, and so many more draft picks come out of this area than came out, say, in 1980.
Right.
I mean, I just watch them going, man, that's Mariners baseball, and there are more minor league teams. There are more teams at all levels. In the hole, Beltre eats it up, throws to first to retire Liddy, and the Mariners are gone. No runs, one hit. They strand Robinson after 2. Still no score. Much offense yet going to the 3rd inning. Puget Sound, there you go. Doesn't get much prettier. Boy, the water adds so much. Here's Nelson Cruz leading off. He takes his strike from Felix Hernandez. Cruz 269, 28 homers, 84 RBIs. Has been battling a hamstring injury, so he's not playing any defense right now. There's that off-speed pitch, a break, and it's 1-1.
Ron Washington, the manager, getting him in the lineup so that he can stay sharp at the plate. But you mentioned not playing any defense. He's really not running the bases hard either. They don't want him to take a chance on getting hurt. But they want his bat in the lineup. 28 home runs, 84 RBIs on the year. There's Ron Washington. Wasn't long ago, maybe two and a half years ago, they were talking about letting Ron Washington go. Not sure if he was the guy, and last year he takes him to the World Series.
Swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts now for Felix Hernandez as Cruz is down. Let's take a look at our trivia question. On this date, in what year the Mariners unveiled their current logo? A, B, C, or D? 91, 92, 93, or 94? You can text your answer. There is the information you need. I'm not sure I know the answer. I know it was about that time, though, somewhere in the early 90s.
I'm going to guess 93.
The batter is Endy Chavez, who played a couple of years ago with the Mariners. He's 2 for 4 in the series, batting .298. And it's 2-0.
He's had a solid year for Ron Washington and the Rangers, playing center field. Almost a platoon situation with him and Gentry now. But after seeing the injury that he had while he was here in Seattle, it's just nice to see him back playing again. It was one of the worst knee injuries I've seen. He and Betancourt had a collision on a fly ball, and he was done. Missed, oh gosh, almost a year and a half. So just good to see him healthy and playing again.
2 balls and a strike. Liddy tied at 3rd, and now it's 2-2.
Felix staying with his changeup to the left-handed hitters. Already getting geared up for the fastball. We've talked about the Rangers. They can hit anybody's fastball, and they rarely will get away from that strategy of swinging at the fastball. So his changeup will be a huge pitch for him. Throws it again.
Full count. There is Kinsler on deck. No score here, top of the third inning. And that one cued off the end of the bat. Still a 3-2 count on Chavez, who has been in demand, played with Kansas City, Montreal when they moved to Washington with the Nationals, the Mets, the Mariners, of course, and now the Rangers. That's what you say with well-traveled ball players. In demand. They're always in demand. Foul back, still 3-2. I say the same thing about broadcasters. You know, if you can't stick anywhere 30 years, you've been in demand. As Ken Brett worked here a little bit, and I worked with Ken also in the big leagues. That's what he used to always say. He pitched for 9 teams, didn't he? Something like that. They all wanted me. Little nubber, and Hernandez picks it up but doesn't touch Chavez. And the question could be, and I'd have to see a replay, did Chavez go out of the running lane? And here comes Eric Wedge out. I'm sure that's the question he's going to ask.
I don't think Felix, he didn't look like he was arguing about whether he tagged him or not, so I'm assuming that he did not put the tag on him, and Eric Wedge is talking about that. How far out of the lane did he go, and was it too far to avoid the tag? You have to give the fielder an opportunity to field his position. So there's some gray area on a play like that, and the umpires decided that he was fine, and Felix missed the tag, so that'll be an infield base hit for Chavez.
There's no question he went out of the running lane.
If he stayed in the lane, you're not sure that if he's giving the fielder an opportunity to field the ball too, so you have to be able to give him a chance to field it. A quick throw over to first from Felix, and it looked to me like Felix was in good shape to put the tag on him, but his momentum was carrying him across also. So, you know, the umpires get together, and it didn't seem like there was too much of an argument from Eric Wedge.
No, he was satisfied fairly quickly. The Mariners looking for 2, and Kinsler up there 1 strike. There are rules in this game that are gray. You mentioned gray, and you know, umpires say, you know, well, yeah, he's got to stay in the running lane, but he went out. It's okay. And it's just that there's a lot of interpretation. It's not all black and white.
Well, the main thing with the lane is so that they stay out of the field of play. That's what they don't want them. They don't want them running inside the line or on the line even. They want them out of the field of play when they're making that run, so they clear a path for players to make plays and to make a clear throw. They can actually get outside of that lane on the wide side, on the foul side of it. As long as they're not, I mean, they can't go ridiculous where they're running out by the batter's box, but there's some leeway on that. But they will be called out if they don't at least get in that lane,
right,
if they're in the field of play.
Well, certainly you can't go into fair territory like on a little nubber and the catcher's trying to make the throw. If it hits you in the back, you've got to be in the.
You'll be called out.
Yeah, you've got to be in the running lane.
Yes.
1 ball, 1 strike on Kinsler, who was robbed by Liddy with a great play to start the game. Out of play, 1-2. Kinsler has not had much success in his career against Hernandez. We mentioned earlier that many of these Rangers have generally hit Felix pretty well. Quick throw to first, and Endy Chavez is back there with 1 out.
Kinsler, I believe, coming into the game was a 198 hitter against Felix, but he has 3 home runs.
Yeah, 3 home runs. He's now 10 for 54. So that's certainly not real good. He hits this one a ton. If it's fair, it's big trouble for the Mariners, but it's foul.
No, he called it fair.
He calls it fair.
He calls
it's
it a fair ball.
Trayvon Robinson is yelling. I thought it went to the left by the naked eye. Here comes Eric Wedge. The umpire down there is Brian Gorman. I don't think there was any question but that it was a foul ball. But again,
I agree with you. I thought it was foul.
I always go with the umpire, Brian Gorman. Now all 4 umpires are going to get together, and we could see a call overruled here. Those calls are not all that easy to make. Those are not, you know, those aren't slam dunk calls.
They'll go back and take a look at it on the replay. But you can see Robinson, the third baseman, Liddy, all of them pointing. You see the ball. It's clearly a foul ball. And they'll make that change. We'll be back out quickly, I'm sure, as you take another look at it. The ball will disappear behind the foul pole. That'll be a foul ball.
It wasn't as foul as I thought it was with the naked eye, but I was pretty convinced it was foul. Didn't even look to see the call from the umpire.
The Kings Court helping out.
Makes me think I'm at a college football game at Kings Court. I like those folks.
Yeah, that's been a great thing all year long. Felix has really embraced it also. He enjoys it. But they'll have Kinsler come back. He'll hit again. Chavez will go back to first. Clearly that's a foul ball.
Felix.
Kinsler hasn't even taken his helmet off yet. He's standing at the top step. He knows.
Yeah. Felix just as cool as could be, chewing on that gum with the hat tilted. Look at him. Look at him. Yeah, right.
It's like Beltre maybe giving him the business in the Ranger dugout up on the top rail.
Pitchers go. So he says he just missed a home. He says it's a strike, isn't it? It's just a strike. It's nothing more. He hit it 400 feet. It's a strike. It's a foul ball, of course.
Yes.
I'm sure that's not the greatest feeling for an umpire to know that he made the call totally incorrectly. But hey,
you know what?
We all make mistakes.
We make mistakes, but you feel worse if the Mariners ended up losing the game because of that call. And now they have an opportunity to get it right. And in the end, it is right. It's a non-issue. Phil's got a little bit of a break on the mound. Had a chance to laugh it off, and here we go again.
So the count on Ian Kinsler is 1-2. There's one out. Andy Chavez with pretty good wheels is over at first base. The outfield deep to left. Kinsler looking for his 30th home run of the season. And now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Talking about Kinsler not hitting Hernandez very well and being a little bit cool with the bat right now. Last 6 games, including this afternoon, he's only 2 for 22. So his batting average dropping. The bouncer, Ackley, to the bag. 1 out, quickly to first. And that is an inning-ending double play. A little bit different result than a home run. To the bottom of the 3rd. Still no score. Early going. It's the bottom of the 3rd. And the last man in the lineup, Michael Saunders. Speaking of Victoria, BC, as we were earlier from Victoria. Ball 1. Michael hitting 155 with a couple of homers, 8 RBIs. Spending a good part of the year at Tacoma. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I think for Michael, Again, making some mechanical adjustments to his swing from last year. Michael had 10 home runs as a rookie last year. He had some success in AAA with it. I'd just like to see him be more aggressive early in the counts on the fastball, as he was here today. The first fastball that was a strike, the second pitch of the at-bat. Took a hack at it. To see that happen more often.
Here's a ground ball, and this one is foul. 1-2.
I guess, Ken, what I'm saying is I'd just like to see him give himself a better chance. He's such a good athlete. He can run. He has some power. But when you're behind, as you know, 0-2, 1-2, that's a tough situation to hit in for anybody in this league.
I know. I mean, I've seen him quite a bit this year. I don't know. He's got me baffled.
Yeah.
It looks like he should be a better hitter.
Right.
Because he can, he can play the outfield. He runs, does all the things you talked about. That takes the mask off of Mike Napoli. 1-2. But hitting is, it's difficult. I mean, it's such a mental thing too. You can talk about mechanics. That's great.
Right.
He's changed his mechanics, but it's also upstairs. Also, is a lot of.
And you can see right here, he's beat on the fastball. That fastball is a little bit too deep in the zone, but he's just protecting. He's behind the count 1-2. And he swings at the breaking ball.
Yeah. Then he gets a 1-2 pitch, which you couldn't hit with a golf club. Well, our trivia, the AT&T trivia, you folks thought that 1993 is the year the Mariners unveiled their current logo. And the answer is not C, 1993, but rather 1992. It was unveiled in 92, and the Mariners first wore the current logo in 93. A little bit of a twist there.
Yeah.
A little bit of a gray area, kind of like a lot of calls in baseball.
Technicality. Curtis Wilson, he's known for that, though. Now he's trying to defend himself, and I'm just going to let it go and appreciate the fans that voted on it in 93, the first year that it was actually
unveiled in the fall of the previous year.
Correct.
Got you on a technicality, everybody. Ichiro safe on an error in the first inning when a thrown ball to Young was dropped, and it's 2 balls 1 strike on Ichiro. I like the logo. I love the uniforms. I know why I love them. First of all, I like traditional, very traditional uniforms. This could be a difficult play for Kinsler. He's got to hurry, and he does a nice job to retire Ichiro. And there are 2 down for Luis Rodriguez.
So do I like the traditional.
I mean, I like I look at baseball, I go Dodgers, traditional uniform. The Yankees. The Yankees aren't worried about changing the logo or their look. The Red Sox.
Tigers.
The Tigers. I mean, I grew up with the Tigers. And that to me is the norm. You put a uniform together, it's nice, and you keep it forever. And what I know what I like about these uniforms, they're the Tigers uniforms essentially. That's what they are. These uniforms right here.
Those are the Mariners uniforms. It says so right there.
Those are the Tigers uniforms. They took the D off and they put Mariners across the front. So I think they're great, absolutely great uniforms. Traditional, they're clean, they're sleek. I mean, I think they're absolutely sensational. They are an improvement over what we had in the early days, back when you had the waistbands and
the elastic waistband.
Yeah, you got to have the belt. Come on.
Yeah, I think so.
There's the old logo, which looked pretty sprightly in '77. Now you go, well, that could be improved upon. And when we had the All-Star game here in '79, they had the All-Star logo, and that kind of led to a little bit of a different opportunities with the pitchfork, as I always refer to it. Upside down pitchfork. 3-1 the count on Rodriguez. It's a long way from that NY. Here's a ground ball, and it is pulled foul. 3-2 on the Mariners shortstop, who had a base hit in the first inning. But I like the current logo. I like the look.
So do I.
Very nice. Two outs, nobody on. A full count on Rodriguez facing Matt Harrison. And that'll go foul. Harrison trying to get to 13 victories. And if he can get his 13th victory, the Rangers would have 5 pitchers with at least 13 wins. And that doesn't happen very often. It would be only the 4th time in the last 30 years that a team has had 5 pitchers with at least 13 wins. The 3-2 pitch, and there's ball 4. So Rodriguez has been aboard twice, and he's at first with 2 outs. Fans catch all the action of the 2011 Major League Baseball postseason. It'll be on Fox and TBS. That excitement begins on Friday, September 30th, with the Division Series on TBS. Dustin Ackley hit into a double play in the first inning, came up with nobody out and runners at first and second, and he takes a strike.
The Mariners, on the other hand, would like to get a win today, tighten up things a little bit. The Angels have already beaten the Orioles in Baltimore today. Beat them up too. 11-2 was the final in that game. Rangers coming in having a 4.5 game lead in the West.
There you go. There you go. I'm telling you, I've been watching every time I've been here looking and around the ballpark coming in. I always stand and watch. The big ocean freighter comes up and they're moving those containers. I'm just amazed at all the contraptions. And I mean, I took a little physics, but we never got to that level of
you
how that works.
You should go over there, tell them who you are, and all of a sudden you're going to have some levers in your hand. You can start moving some things around for them.
No, I don't have my longshoreman's card. I wouldn't dare. The runner goes. The ball creamed by Ackley way back. Making the catch is Murphy, and that'll end the inning. Ackley puts a charge into that one. The Mariners get a 2-out walk and leave a runner.
From the Mariners, there's Ken. Does a great job of getting these guys healthy once they've been hurt and had their surgery. He's usually the guy doing all the therapy on them, and he's been with the Mariners for a long time. And at the end of the season, that'll be it for Ken, and we'll all miss him. And that's exactly who he is. Always has a big smile on his face, and one of the nicest guys you'll meet. So we all wish him the best. And he'll be missed for sure.
Dr. Ken.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll sneak around here every now and then.
Felix Hernandez ready to work in the 4th, and he throws a ball to the shortstop, Elvis Andrus, who flied to right in the first inning. Felix has given up a Hamilton single to right, a Chavez infield hit, and a double play erased him. Liner, and Rodriguez just has it go out of his reach. Robinson gets the ball back in. Now a 12-game hitting streak for Elvis Andrus.
And he's been hitting the ball hard. This is a line drive as Rodriguez makes a diving effort. Solid base hit into left field. Andrews, not exactly the guy that you want to see on first base in a tie ball game. 35 steals on the year for Andrews, so I'm sure he will give it a shot in a tight ball game. Typically with Felix on the mound, opposing managers are not going to wait around for the other team to try to bunch hits together. They'll be aggressive on the bases. One of the things we've talked about with the Rangers, they are 4th as a team in stolen bases.
Josh Hamilton, the batter, 1 strike. Josh singled to right in the first inning. He's 5 for 10 in this series with a home run and 3 RBIs. If you go out a little further, 5 games, it's not far back. Last 5 games, 4 homers, 10 RBIs. I talked about it last night. I can't get over what a good-looking ball player Hamilton is, and I know he's a great player.
Right.
With just the tools that he has. So smooth.
5-tool player. He can do everything.
There's a strike. Great pitch. Great location. 0-2. You just don't see many 5-tool players.
No.
They're just 3 or 4 is amazing. A 5-tooler who can flat out do it all. I don't care what team they play on. I just sit in awe and admire it. Pretty good lead at first. There he goes, and the ball is in on the hands of Hamilton. Popped up, and it'll reach the crowd. Still 2 strikes.
You had to feel it was just a matter of time when Andrews was going to try to steal. Fortunately, Hamilton fouls the pitch off. It looked like he was able to get a good jump at first.
Yeah, I agree. He did have a very good jump. Mariners would like to get a double play ball here. You got a couple of guys who run well. This is not an easy situation here to turn 2. First of all, you've got a problem getting the right kind of ground ball from Hamilton. Still 0-2.
Take a look at Miguel Olivo.
Oh boy. That may work in winter ball, but not here.
I don't even think it works there.
I got it. Nice catch, huh? Felix's 2-strike pitch. Oh, he gets him. What a dandy. I think Hamilton wanted to tip his hat, his helmet.
Yeah, and again, Kings Court waving the K's, and this is on his changeup again. A changeup to the left-hander is an effective pitch for Felix.
That's 3 strikeouts for Hernandez. He has 218 strikeouts, just shy of a strikeout an inning. Coming in, only 2 pitchers in the league with more strikeouts than King Felix. Cleanup hitter Michael Young popped to second his first trip. No score, 4th inning.
This should make things a little bit easier on Olivo. You get the left-handed hitter out of there. One, he can see Andrews out of the corner of his eye, and it clears a lane for him to throw. With Michael Young at the plate. Beltre, a right-handed hitter, waiting on deck.
Still the Mariners in search of a double play ball. This ball will be tough to catch. But Ichiro is there, and he does a nice job getting over there. He got a very good jump and had a long way to go, and he makes the play look easy. And that's a big second out. And the batter will be Adrian Beltre. Led off in the second and grounded out.
Felix efficient today, 51 pitches. Not surprised by that. If he's around the plate, the Rangers an aggressive hitting club.
Andrews back at first. Texas coming into today's game having won 5 out of their last 6, 6 of their last 8. As Mike mentioned, the Angels winning 11-2 at Baltimore. So at this very moment, the Rangers lead over Los Angeles is 4 games. For my money, the Rangers have all but wrapped it up. I mean, it's hard for me to imagine the Angels catching them. That's a strike to Beltre. I just looked at it this way, going into play today before the Angels won. let's just say the Angels go 8-3. They had 11 games left.
Yes.
The Rangers 10. Just say the Angels go 8-3 the rest of the way.
Which is a great run.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. Texas would only have to go 4-6 to win.
I think right now, however, that works itself out, and I agree with you. I think it's going to be difficult for the Angels. The Angels right now, they want to be 3 games or less going into that last series to give themselves a chance. And then they'll feel like at least it's in their hands. The Texas Rangers playing at Anaheim last 3 games of the year. And I think that's all the Angels want right now. That's the best they can hope for.
They got to get there. 2-strike pitch. This one has been tagged. Robinson, Saunders back, and it is out of here. Second home run of the series for Adrian Beltre, his 27th of the season. It comes with 2 outs here in the 4th with a made aboard, and the Rangers have a 2-0 lead. Boy, they hit home runs. That's 192. Only the Yankees have more home runs than Texas.
And this is on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Give you an idea, Felix today, only 38% of his pitches have been fastballs, but the Rangers, we've talked about it, will not get off of the fastball. And if you don't locate it, they will hit it hard.
Here's a ground ball to short off the bat of Napoli, and the throw by Rodriguez in plenty of time. So there you go, Beltre. Look at it. There you go, buddy. 2-0 Texas.
To Adrian Beltre, a 2-0 lead over the Mariners. Tom Glasgow with you from the Northwest Forward Sports Desk. Let's talk Seahawks. A rough day in Pittsburgh against the Steelers. Tavares Jackson sacked 5 times. Just one of the offensive issues for the Mariners. They get shut out 24-0. They will play their home opener next week at CenturyLink Field when they take on Arizona. Right now, let's send it upstairs to Ken and Mike.
Thanks very much, Tom. 4th inning, Miguel Olivo leading off against Matt Harrison. And the bouncer right back to the lefty. And the easy toss to Young. 1 up, 1 down here in the 4th inning. The Mariners trailing it 2-0 on the heels of the Adrian Beltre 2-run home run. We look back at Beltre. He talked about it last night, how hot he's been with the long ball, including today. Last 9 games. It's amazing. Last 9 games, Beltre 7 home runs, 13 RBIs. That's a pretty good stretch.
I think Ron Washington is happy to have him back in the lineup.
Don't worry about the hamstring. Don't
take
run
your time.
hard.
Yeah, take your time around the bases. Do whatever you have to do. Just stay in the lineup.
Yeah, don't worry about beating out the infield single. Just if it's an out, it's an out. Don't worry about it. You'll make it up somehow. Mike Carp, the batter, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike on Carp. Coming in, hitting left-handed pitching at .327.
And he wishes he had that last pitch back. It was a slow breaking ball, middle of the plate. Kept his hands back, was in good position to attack it, but just waited on it just a hair long and ended up fouling it off as Harrison misses with that fastball.
You know, if you look at, Carp was up early, then went down back to Tacoma. So since he's come up the second time, 53 games, 290, 10 homers. You take 290 any day of the week. Right? 53 games is a third of a season. 3 times 10 is 30. That's a pretty good clip.
Yeah,
real
you'll take it right now, right?
Well, I'd take 25.
Yeah, I think I agree, and I think you see guys and they come up, and for Mike, he's been fairly consistent. I just look at the number you just said. The job that he has done against left-handed pitching and hitting at a 320 plus clip tells me that he has a chance to stick around here. He knows what he's doing, and he has a real good idea. Fundamentally, you have to be in a good position to hit the lefties the way that he has, although he'll punch out here. And I think he has a chance to really help this ball club next year.
Well, he's a little older. If you look at, I'm not trying to pick anybody out, but if you look at Carp compared to Carlos Peguero, for instance, Carp is a lot more mature, has played a lot more, and is.
He's a more polished hitter.
It's right. He's more within himself. He's more controlled. Has a better idea of the strike zone.
Yes,
and is more prepared to help you than, say, Peguero.
Yeah, but somebody like Peguero also has that power that you just don't see. Guys talk about light tower power. That's the case with Carlos. It's just a matter of whether he can translate that up to the major league level.
The amazing thing about Carp, he's still only 25.
Right.
But he's been, playing pro ball since 2004.
There's a lot of at-bats under his belt.
Yeah. And this is the third season that Carp has gotten to play in the big leagues. A lot more this season than the past 2. Here's Willie Mo Pena, and he drills it to right center. Chasing it down is Chavez. Willie Mo takes the turn, and he'll hold on. His speed, of course, is not his game. And Willie has himself a 2-out, 4th inning single. That is hit number 3 for the Mariners.
Pitch in the middle of the plate, gets a fastball to handle. We'll check in with a base hit. That'll bring up Trayvon Robinson. Robinson had a base hit in the 2nd inning. His confidence will grow. It's been a tough homestand for Trayvon. Take a look at what he's done. His lefty-righty splits for the switch hitter, hitting an even 200 right-handed, so we'd like to see that number go up. He's a natural right-handed hitter. Just switch over to the left side. I don't think it's unusual, though you see a lot of switch hitters that are normally right-handed hitters. Their numbers will be a little bit down, and the main reason why is they don't see as many left-handers to keep their numbers up.
That's right. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, he can run a little bit. That helps. He seems to have power. He had 26 home runs at Albuquerque in the Dodgers organization. We saw him make really a big league play on a ball hit in the air and foul ground last night. I mean, just, gave it every effort you could. Hits the ball to center. Chavez is there. He's got it to retire the side. The Rangers on top 2-0 as the game goes to the 5th inning.
casually in the stands?
I would say as a youngster I might have done it once. I've never kept score. How about you?
Never.
Yeah, never.
No.
Here's a fly ball off the bat of David Murphy. Drifting over is Ichiro. And that's the first out here in the 5th. On Wednesday, September 28th, we hope you'll bring 4 to 12 of your family members or friends to the last Safeco Insurance Grand Slam Family Package night of the season. For as low as $14 per person, you'll get a ticket to see the Mariners square off with the A's, a hot dog, and a Pepsi. Hey, that's a pretty good deal. Take advantage of the offer at mariners.com/specials. Nelson Cruz, the batter, went down swinging in the 3rd. Felix's strikeout total is at 3. He has not walked anyone, and it's 2-0. Now, I just have never kept score. A lot of people get a lot of pleasure out of keeping score. Usually when I go to a game, going way back, I've never felt that compelled to remember every little thing that happens in a game. I'm more there for the experience or watching individual players. I think even as a youngster.
Right. I think I'm along the same lines. Typically, if you're at the game with the kids, every other inning you're at the concession stand, so you're going to miss a lot trying to keep score.
Yeah. Here's a shot. Liddy gobbles it up and throws over to Carp. 2 up and 2 down as Cruz is gone. Of course, after broadcasting forever, when I go to games now at any level, minor league game, which I like to go to.
You see a lot of those, right?
Yeah, I go to a lot of our West Coast League games in the summer, and I went down not too many weeks ago to Tacoma and saw the Rainiers play, or I'll go to minor league games because I love minor league games too. And I drive my wife crazy because I do 2 things. I'm wanting to talk because that's what I'm used to doing at games, and believe me, she's not all that interested in the game, and especially not interested in hearing me talk. And, and I'm going, watch this. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Here's what he's going to throw. And she doesn't care.
Right, right. But you do.
Yeah, and I'm telling her what's going to happen, and giving her an idea. This is Endy Chavez up there 2 strikes because I get involved, and
right.
I like to talk about what's going to happen or why are they. Why aren't they hitting and running here? And I'm usually sitting with people that just don't care. And I have a hard time also because I get bored. And I love the game of baseball, and I know it's fast, and I know things are happening, but I'm used to having somebody I can talk to sitting next to me like you. I'm used to listening to, a producer somewhere and having a copy to read and things to do. And when I just sit there, I got to have peanuts or popcorn just to keep it going. Here's a foul ball. And it's 0-2, so I think you and I going to a game now, we're not the normal fan anymore.
Yeah, I like to move around a little bit, too. I'm interested in some things, or I see a player, and I'll move around to that side of the field or get a different angle to look at things, too. You said you went down in Tacoma. Have you seen the new renovations down there, and what are those like for you? I haven't had a chance to go, obviously, because I'm here.
The ballpark in Tacoma is sensational. They've got a great staff down there, new ownership group, and they're really doing a great job. Chavez hits the bounder. Ackley gobbles it up, and a 1-2-3 inning for Felix Hernandez. It's 2-0 Texas. Adrian Beltre's 2-run 4th inning home run. Liddy, Saunders, and Ichiro here in the 5th against 26-year-old Matt Harrison, who has shut out the M's on 3 hits. Andrews guns over to first. Liddy is retired on 1 pitch. Well, time for our CenturyLink high-speed pitch. Harrison at 96 miles per hour and the King at 94. It's pretty good in any league.
Oh, it's great, and I think Felix, if he wanted to, he could probably still rush it up there at 96, 97, but you rarely see that from him now.
Finesse pitcher.
Yeah, 94 with a super sinker.
Here is Saunders showing bunt, takes a strike. Michael struck out swinging in the 3rd. 4 strikeouts for Matt Harrison, 1 in each frame. He's been helped by a double play also. He's walked 1. The curve gets him 2 strikes. You talk about identifying pitches. I've always marveled at hitters who can really see what's coming. Saunders strikes out. And I'm sure you talk
so
about
it.
I mean, I'll never forget Eduardo Perez telling me one time. He says, "Well, my dad, that'd be Tony Perez." He said, "We always watch." He says, "Ken, we always watch the top of the ball." You know, I mean, I was a high school player, right? I was lucky to see the ball,
right?
Let alone watch the top. You know, and they say, well, and then you go, and they can see the seams, and you know, you can pick it up because you can see how the ball is spinning, or you see where the pitcher is, you know, releasing the ball or the arm angle. And that's just amazing. And I'm sure it is to most fans.
It is. It's a difficult thing. It's something though that I think for hitters it's more of a trained eye when you get into that type of thing. And I think hitters can help themselves out. And I don't like to use the term.
Ichiro strikes out. So
we'll talk about that when we come back. That was quick.
Harrison ends it in a big hurry, and we're through 5.
To you by Snoqualmie Casino, Seattle's premier entertainment, gaming, and dining destination. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Sterling Savings Bank. Visit one of our 178 branches or go to sterlingsavingsbank.com. Let's reconnect with Ken and Mike.
All right, thanks very much, Tom. Top of the order for the Rangers here in the 6th inning. Kinsler, Andrews, and Hamilton against Felix Hernandez. 2 runs, 4 hits for Texas. No runs, 3 hits for the Mariners. Kinsler is 0 for 2, robbed by Liddy on a great play to begin the game. And it's 2-0. Talking about hitting, and it all started with Michael Saunders, you know. And I was basically saying identifying pitches, which has to do with being able to see what's coming. It also has to do with what the count is and what you expect you're going to get. There's a strike, 2-1. So identifying pitches before they're thrown, saying, hey, I'm in the hole 1 and 2. This guy is going to, I'm going to get a breaking pitch here. And how many hitters actually depend on their expectations when they're hitting, and or what they see coming.
I think the majority of them do, Ken. I think hitters, like pitchers and catchers, are thinking and working their way through hitter after hitter. And a hitter, when he goes up there after an at bat, should have an idea. He's seen pitches. Hopefully, he's seen 3 or 4 pitches. Had an opportunity to recognize at least a couple of them, and even an idea of what they're going to try to do to get him out. So for me, you'll hear hitters going, well, I was sitting on the curveball. Sitting on means they were going up there and they were going to look for that curveball so that they could recognize it earlier and do more with it, because they felt like that's what he's going to get me out with. Now, where it gets tough, I think, for young hitters is to be committed to doing that, because they all want to hit the fastball all the time, and they have a hard time getting off of the fastball, not worrying about it, and being committed to with the information that is giving to them and going up there and looking for it. So with Saunders, for example,
here's a ground ball on a 3-2 pitch into center. Kinsler has a base hit leading off the 6th inning. Let's take a look at the Mariners calendar, brought to you by Sleep Country USA. There we are on Sunday the 18th. Cleveland single game tomorrow. That's a 1 o'clock start Pacific time. 3 in Minnesota, then on to Texas next weekend. And then the Mariners will finish up at home with 3 with Oakland. That's our Sleep Country calendar.
Last road trip of the year coming up.
Yeah, that's it.
But for Saunders, he's seen a number of breaking balls now, and to help himself, he might want to go up there and look for that pitch. It'll slow it down. He'll recognize it early and give him a better chance of hitting it, as they have a hit and run right here. Kinsler taking off with the pitch, and Andrews, all he could do is foul that pitch off.
So if you're Michael Saunders there, they're giving him, Harrison's throwing him breaking pitches that he isn't going to hit, and they're out of the strike zone to some degree. So he's got to be in a position to say, hey, I can lay off this pitch.
If he's looking for the pitch and he's committed to it, a couple of things will happen. He'll recognize it a little bit earlier, so that if it is in the strike zone, he can handle it. And if he's looking and he picks the rotation of the ball up early, if it's down and out of the strike zone, like we've seen a couple of them, he'll lay off of that pitch because he'll recognize it sooner. To go up there, a lot of hitters, and they'll talk about, well, I'm going to hit off the fastball and then I'll adjust to everything else.
Right, you hear that a lot.
You hear that a lot, and I think that happens quite a bit, but it's a difficult way to go about it. After you've gathered information, I don't think, and it's not guessing. It's actually looking for a certain pitch in a certain situation, and as you mentioned, counts will dictate. Maybe you have to change during that at bat, but that comes with experience and time and getting to know pitchers and understanding what your weaknesses are and where they're trying to attack you. And that's why I think it's difficult, I think, sometimes for younger pitchers. And we've seen it with Ackley, where they were trying to throw him a lot of fastballs when he first came up, had a lot of success on that. Now we're seeing him more breaking balls early in counts, trying to get ahead of him with those pitches, and then expanding the zone with the fastball up or in on him. And so he has to make adjustments to that also, and he will. And Dustin, he's going to play in this league, I have no doubt about it, in a long time, and he's been great. But those are types of things that young players, they have to make those adjustments, and it's something that Chris Chambliss, the hitting coach, and Eric Wedge, they've had a lot of work this year because we've had a lot of young players. Well, but it takes time.
That's for sure. Andrews up there, 2-1. He hits a bullet fair that'll go down and hit the stands that jut out, and it's not expected by Robinson. Kinsler to third. They're waving him in. He'll score easily, and that's a stand-up double for Elvis Andrews. So he is 2 for 3 with that 12-game hitting streak, and he earns his 60th RBI of the season, and Texas is on top 3-0.
Andrews again gets a fastball running in on his hands. As Ken mentioned, he's been a hot hitter right down the line. I think if the ball misses the corner of the stands out there, Robinson was in position to pick it up, and Kinsler would have had to stop at third.
I think so too. There's an example of know the ballpark. Here's a fly ball off the bat of Hamilton. Robinson comes in after going out and makes the catch. 1 out. Andrews stops at second base. We're talking about hitting and all the intricacies of that. You have the same thing with ballparks. You got to know your ballpark. You got to know the roof. You got to know the sky. You've got to know the sun. You've got to know the stands jut out, and those corners are tough. I mean, I made the mention that Robinson didn't anticipate really the ball hitting where the stands jut out. Now it's like Fenway. It's
right.
It's a big difference if it goes all the way to the 331 marker, but you have to be really careful because if the ball gets by you, they run forever. So if you come darting in thinking, okay, it's going to hit the stands, I'm going to pick it up there and make sure that Kinsler doesn't score. What if it squirts by you?
Even though there's a chance of that, if it's going to be close like that, you have to get yourself in an angle to where you're going to be able to cut the ball off and not go all the way to the wall. If you start running in because you think it's going to hit that corner, and it does get by you, now you have a whole lot of problems. You have to cut that angle off first and then start to come in after that. Kinsler with good speed is able to score from first on a play like that. And that's another reason why you and I heard early, you'll see opposing teams come out and they always have an outfield coach, and he will sit out there with a fungo and hit balls as, no, this is going to be a tough play.
Young, Liddy, and a good throw to Karp. That's 2 down, and over to third goes Andrus on the 5-3 putout.
Well, we've seen Liddy, although he hasn't had an opportunity to play a lot, he's had to make a number of plays at third. This one he has to come in on. He'll get rid of it, get his right foot on the ground, and get rid of the ball quickly to throw out Michael Young. I think the only play left for him to make that I haven't seen is the barehanded play, where he's going to have to come in on a ball that's hit a little bit slower than the last one.
Here's Beltre again, hit a home run with a man on in the 4th. I guess we could say he raked it.
I think he knew it.
I think he was talking to him when he left the batter's box too.
Yeah, I think so.
Not only when he was coming in.
But you'll see the outfield coaches come out early, and they will take the fungo bat and they will hit balls off the wall, different angles, just to give the outfielders an idea of that ballpark. It's not just this ballpark, but all of them when they're playing on the road.
Yeah, they're all different. Beltre up there, 3-0. Andrus at third. They're 2 away here in the Rangers 6th. Texas is up 3-0.
Just thinking ahead, tomorrow the guys will be in Cleveland. They have the high wall in left field, so I'm sure Trayvon Robinson will be out there, and they'll hit balls off the top of that wall just so you can see how it reacts coming off of the wall.
Out of play, 3-1 as Beltre has a rip at the 3-0 pitch. You just sit and you watch these games, you realize how many aspects there are to baseball. We talk about hitting there a little bit, and you talk about defense, and that's one of the great things about baseball. Every park is different. The dimensions are different. Sure, it's the same pitcher to the plate and the bases. Now 3-2, or that's ball 4, excuse me, ball 4 to Beltre, so he'll walk. But after the infield, foul territory is different. Fence levels are different. The material is different. The dimensions are different. It makes the game so interesting, and when you're a player, there's so much to it. I think the average fan thinks, and it's easy to see why. You sit out and watch the ball game. It's not hard. You hit it and you catch it, and throw it a little bit. But boy, oh boy, this is not an easy game to play. It's a thinking man's game.
At this level, it's about compiling as much information as you can and being able to do something with it. And I think that's what a lot of talented guys can work their way through the minor leagues on ability and get here. The guys that are able to stay have an ability to gather information and use it to their advantage.
Mike Napoli is 0 for 2, the Ranger catcher. You've got Texas Rangers at first and third with 2 outs. 1 strike to count. Nice block by Olivo, and it's 1-1. Well, that's where we mentioned earlier on hitting that there's the mental aspect of hitting, and being able to gather the information, also the confidence aspect of it, which is mental. And some players have great physical tools, as you mentioned, but the mental aspect of the game becomes a little bit too challenging at times.
Yeah,
you split the men from the boys. Here's the pitch. That's a good one. 1-2.
I have found that hitting is a lot easier from up here, Ken, than it is when you're actually standing in that batter's box.
No question.
And then sometimes you run into a pitcher like Felix, who obviously has plus everything, and he mixes his pitches up so much it's tough to try to find a pattern or where his weakness is. It makes it difficult.
Swing and a miss. So Felix gets out of a rugged 6th inning by striking out Napoli. An Andrews double makes it 3-0 Texas.
Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
There you go. That's what I do, Mike. I tell you, I get bored at a game, I get the popcorn. The bigger the bag, the better I like it.
I'm not sure she's going to be able to take care of all that popcorn.
Yeah, she's got no chance. That's a 3-day supply. Mom has to help. Dad has to help. It is Kids Appreciation Day here at Safeco Field. Terrific idea. Families, the youngsters got to walk around the entire field prior to the game. Great idea. Mariners front office does a terrific job with just, interactive things. Get everybody involved. Nice offers. Terrific. Yesterday, 4 o'clock game was Fan Appreciation Day. A lot of terrific awards to great longtime Mariners fans. This is Luis Rodriguez playing shortstop today. He rips one to right center. That's his second hit. He also has a walk. Murphy's going to have to go all the way to the base of the wall, and Rodriguez scampers into second base with a leadoff double here in the 6th inning. So the Mariners hoping to get some runs here this afternoon for Felix Hernandez.
Rodriguez 2 for 2. He also has a walk in the game. Get to see him lead the inning off with a double. Mariners need to take advantage of it. Having a tough time against Harrison. It's only the second time they've had a runner in scoring position here in the game.
They got Ichiro to third base in the 1st inning. Mariners had Ichiro to third, but that was it. They had a good chance in that inning. This is Ackley. Ichiro was safe on a error as Young, the first baseman, dropped to throw. Rodriguez followed with a single. And then eventually this man Ackley hit into a double play and Olivo struck out. So high hopes were dashed quickly. 1-1 on Ackley, who besides hitting into the double play has flied to right. The other thing on young players, a lot of them are not used to playing as many games as they have to play when they end up playing in the big leagues in September. I mean, a lot of them, other than maybe fall ball in high school, have never really played much in September, and certainly not that many games.
And that's something that Eric Wedge has addressed and talked about going into September. It takes them getting used to, but they should still be excited. They have a major league uniform on. They're all trying to make an impression
This one is inside, hits his bat, and then hits the plate umpire, Dan Bellino. He fires one back at 98.
And I think the difficult part of it isn't necessarily the physical part. It's the mental part of grinding out the rest of this year. As you mentioned, everybody has their own clocks and they're used to being done. As you see the foul ball, say he catches him on the inside of his knee. But mentally, you just have to grind it out. And that's what Eric Wedge's expectations are, and he's reminded the guys of it a couple of times.
Napoli goes out and talks to Harrison for no other reason than to give Bellino, the plate umpire, a chance to shake it off. The catchers and umpires have a special relationship back there behind the ditch.
And they should.
2-2 the count on Ackley. And he taps it foul. The grind, they talk about the grind.
Yes.
And that's another thing that is, I think there's no reason a fan should ever think about it. You know, hey, you get to do what you love. You get paid a lot of money to play baseball. So, you know, don't talk to me about the grind or how hard it is. But it is a reality. And especially for the younger players going through it for the first time. And I've always said,
but I don't think it's a situation, Ken, where it's they're tired of playing baseball or they don't like their job anymore.
No, not at all.
It's the mental part of being as focused as you should be on a daily basis. And when you do this every day, you lose sight of that from time to time. And that's usually when you'll see a manager kind of jump you a little bit and get you back, you know, to where you're getting things focused again.
It's difficult. You want to be at the top of your game every game. And it's almost every day. And we've mentioned 2 or 3 times here in the last inning or so, the mental aspect and having to play every day, that becomes a mental exercise as much as a physical exercise. And I mean, folks know you any kind of job you have, you got to get Monday morning, Tuesday morning. You know, hopefully you get a couple days off during the week, which doesn't happen that often in a big league season. But any job is a grind, and to try to be your best, it's not easy to always be ready.
And it's also what separates major league players from everybody else. I think anybody that's played the game, it's one of the big things that separates them.
Ackley goes down swinging, dancing around in the batter's box a bit, and that's out number 1 here in the 6th inning. Time now for Banner Bank, building to the future, which is what this 2011 season has been all about. Tom Wilhelmsen was here early, making his big league debut. Went to AA, went to AAA, started. Since his recall, he has been absolutely sensational. Most of all, the opponent's average only 167. There he is out there. What a fun guy he is. You look at his history and you can tell he's a fun guy. Miguel Oliva, little tapper. Harrison checks the runner, lobs the ball to Young, and there are 2 away. Rodriguez remains at second base. But the first time that I experienced the 162 game season was in '77. I mean, I'm a real young guy. I come here. I mean, you talk about thrilled as a broadcaster to be in the big leagues. I couldn't have had more energy. I couldn't have been more excited. Man, I got to the All-Star break and I said, man, this is a lot of baseball.
It's every day.
It's every day. I mean, I've only been to the grocery store. It's every day. Here is Mike Karp, and it's strike 1. Mike has struck out twice against Harrison. And the thing that, you know, you got to September in that first season in '77, Dave had been through it more than I had. You know, I never said anything, but I'm thinking to myself, I said, I'm a young guy, and this is mentally and physically pretty challenging. And I looked down the field and I said, how do the ball players do it? I mean, I didn't have to do anything. I just had to pack the bag, show up, go to the game, hang around the batting cage, go to the clubhouse, sit up here, talk about the game. I mean, the physical aspect was fairly difficult, and it was nothing to what players go through. I mean, I learned right away. I just had so much respect for that grind aspect that athletes have to go through in baseball. It's just not like that in any other sport. This is unique in that way.
It is, and again, they obviously they have a passion for it. They love to play. That's why they're here. And for some of these, especially for the Mariners club, because they have so many young guys, this season's going to end. They're going to keep playing. These guys are going to go to the fall league. They're going to go play winter baseball somewhere. They're going to continue to try to improve and make themselves as consistent as they can so they can stay here.
1-2 on Karp. Rodriguez at second, 2 outs. The Mariners are trailing 3-0 here in the 6th inning. Look at that popcorn. A kernel at a time. So my wife says, quit doing it. You know, you don't eat popcorn by the handful, just a couple kernels at a time. I've never learned that lesson.
I haven't either.
There's a curve sent in the air down the left field line. Hamilton just glides over there, and that retires the side. So 6 innings have been completed on this Kids Appreciation Day at Safeco Field.
Mariners fan ranking.
Three to nothing as we get ready for the top of the 7th. Let's check in on the Angels. Their odds of catching Texas in the West slim to none, but here's what they did today in Baltimore. Top of the 4th, Eric Ibar with his 2nd home run in the game. This one to right field. The Angels score 4 in that frame and go on to win it. Our Sterling saving score, Angels 11, Baltimore 2. Let's send it back to Ken and Mike.
Okay, Tom, thank you very much. David Murphy leads off. The Texas native takes a strike from Felix Hernandez, who has not walked anyone through 6. He has struck out 4. And the 25-year-old ready to go again. And the count is 0-2. Cruz on deck, then Chavez. With the Rangers leading 3-0. They got a 2-run, 4th inning home run from Adrian Beltre. And then last inning, the 6th, the run coming across on an Elvis Andrus double. 1-2.
And Felix is at 92 pitches now, 62 of those for strikes.
They shade David Murphy the opposite way. Little chopper. Rodriguez is going to have to really hurry, and the throw is nowhere near in time and offline. That'll be a base hit for David Murphy.
Looks like Rodriguez had a tough time on the exchange. Wasn't able to get a good grip on the ball, and he throws a changeup across the infield. Fields it cleanly, and then on the exchange, sometimes you just can't quite get the grip right away, knowing that you have to get rid of it in a hurry. That's what'll happen. You throw it wide.
Nelson Cruz has struck out and grounded to 3rd. Ball 1. That's the play that, I mean, you're impressed when shortstops go to the right, they go to the left. But I always think, in my mind, that the tougher play are those slow rollers where you have to get, to me, it's much harder to keep your body under control.
It is, and there's a certain amount of timing that is involved in that, because once you field it, you have to get your steps right because you want to get rid of it quickly. And he was in good position to do that, Rodriguez was, but you also have to have an exchange. You can see him reaching down with his left hand where his glove is, and then that exchange is something that you have to do quickly. And if you don't get a good grip on it, a lot of times you'll throw it away Fortunately for him, he didn't throw it away, but he couldn't get enough on the throw to get a speedy Murphy. And you know it, it's one of the things that you work on in spring training all the time. And as you become a more accomplished fielder and you get to this level, that's a play that I think that you should make the majority of the time.
You essentially got to make it all the time.
Yeah.
2-1 to Cruz. Ooh, good pitch. 81 mile per hour right on the outside corner, 2-2. Yeah, that's a play that a big league, an everyday big league shortstop has to virtually make all the time. That ball that he charges. And just as smooth as can be. And it just is an extremely difficult play physically. Cruz strikes out. So the strikeout is number 5 for Felix.
Felix, here's the changeup again, 89 miles an hour. Olivo able to keep it in front of him. Be a strikeout for Felix. Kingsport, I like it.
Yep, they're a happy group out there.
I think sometimes you get spoiled. Mariners, and myself included, the fans, everybody getting a chance to watch Brendan Ryan go about his business. I think he's one of the best at that, and they make it look so easy.
Yeah. Well, it becomes routine. And when you watch every day, certainly as a fan, you go, well, I don't see him not make the play, so it must not be that hard. Just so good.
Right.
You can just make it virtually every time, a play that most people just can't make.
Right.
I mean, it's fascinating. And the Mariners turn 2, not a net ground ball. Chavez has his second hit, and Ichiro gets the ball in, and they're 2 on with 1 out. While we have the chance, the final BECU half price family night of the season is set for Monday the 26th. The A's will be here. They'll be right here at Safeco. We hope you will be too. Great tickets start at just $10 a piece for an evening of fun the whole family will enjoy. For tickets, visit mariners.com/specials. Top of the order, Ian Kinsler has a single in 3 tries. A welcome single. He had been 2 for his previous 23. So Texas with 1 out in the 7th looking to add to a 3-0 lead. Bounding ball up the middle. Stop. Flip to second out of the reach of Ackley, and everybody's going to be safe. Everybody's safe. Kinsler at first with a single. Chavez at second. Murphy at third.
We saw Rodriguez make a similar play in yesterday's ball game where he was able to flip it back to Ackley from his glove. That one rolls up the glove, stays in there a little bit long. Ackley, not enough time because how close Rodriguez is to him to make the play and get it out. And that's all they're trying to do there is just get it out. Carl Willis, the pitching coach, coming out to have a conversation with Felix. That's 3 singles, a couple of infield hits for the Rangers.
Sean Kelly now in the pen. Well, you know, talking again, there's another difficult play at shortstop. Some make it, some don't. Luis unfortunately wasn't able to make it. You know, I mentioned I see a lot of college ball in the summer in the league that I'm involved in, the West Coast League. And, you know, and it's easy for me. I mean, I'll be here and I'll see big leaguers for 6 days, and then the next day I'll see 6 days of college players.
Who are really good players.
Who are the best college players in the country.
Right.
And I'll watch a shortstop, and most of them are regular shortstops at big-time colleges. Typically, there are a lot of those plays they can't make.
Right.
You know, they just can't, at 19 years of age, can't make, and probably will never be able to make, even though they're premier college shortstops.
On a consistent basis.
On a consistent basis.
Right.
You know, like a Pac-10 shortstop.
And all of those things, there's a separation there.
Yeah.
There's a separation, and that's why these guys are the best players in the world.
Infield pulled in, bases jammed, tough play. Rodriguez, he makes it. Throw home. Oh, baby, he makes that play. He cuts down the lead runner, Murphy. So the 6-2 putout, second out of the 7th inning.
And this is a difficult play. He has to come in to get it in between hop. You see the backhand, and then an accurate throw to home makes it an easy play for Olivo with the speedy runner, Murphy. And that's the reason why Rodriguez, he couldn't wait back for a bigger hop. He had to come in and attack it. Gets an in-between hop on the backhanded side. An excellent play from Rodriguez.
Very good play. He's been tested this inning. There's a ground ball foul off the bat of Josh Hamilton. We had one, Mike, in our West Coast League this season, a kid out of high school in Stockton. And he was drafted the first week of June, 5th round by the Phillies.
High pick?
Yeah, a young man named Mitchell Walding played at our college team in Longview, Kelso. I'll tell you something, he made big league plays game in, game out. Grabbed $800,000 on August 15th from the Phillies. It'd be interesting to see, but he was, head and shoulders over most college players. Here's that play. This is a good play.
Well, it's a good play. The difficult part is to catch it, and you can see him again on the exchange having a little bit of trouble getting it, but he takes that extra step, a little shuffle in there, so that he can get a better grip on it, make an accurate throw.
Here's a ground ball. Ackley on to first to retire Hamilton. So in an inning where not only was Hernandez tested, but so was Luis Rodriguez, the Rangers are shut out.
Welcome back to Safeco Field. Rangers in front of the Mariners, 3-0 in the middle of the 7th inning. Hey, play a big part in the excitement that is college football. Sign up now for Voice of the Fan, sportscaster for the day, presented by Snoqualmie Casino. Audition before a panel of celebrity judges, shine above the competition, and you'll appear live on a Root Sports college football broadcast. Space is limited for the October 6th event at Snoqualmie Casino, so pre-register now at rootsports.com. Mike Blauer's not eligible, but that's okay, Blow. You get to work today with Ken.
I'm still trying to figure out, Tom. You saw me running through the concourse today because I was a little late getting to the radio, and he drops a 5.5 speed on me, Ken. So he obviously watched me quite a bit when I was playing.
There you go. I'm glad I wasn't there. Time for our Sterling Savings Bank game recap.
Well, back in the 4th inning, it's the Rangers' Adrian Beltre. Hits a home run, a 2-run home run back into the bullpen, the Mariners bullpen, to give the Rangers the lead. One of the few mistakes Felix has made in the game. Beltre makes him pay for it and likes it. Then we'll go to the 6th inning. This time the hot-hitting Elvis Andrus hits a ball down the line, catches the corner of the stands, and because of that, Kinsler comes around to score from first, and that is it for the game so far. The Mariners trying to get on track offensively.
They have been shut out on only 4 hits by the North Carolinian Matt Harrison. Big guy, 6'4", 240. He'll face Pena, Robinson, and Liddy.
I would guess from seeing Felix in the dugout, his shirt untucked, I think his day is done.
Has that look, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think he's finished for the day.
Willie Moe is grounded to short, single to right center. He and Robinson and Rodriguez have singles, and Rodriguez has a double. 1 ball, 1 strike. Willie Moe actually has 32 home runs this season. 2 of them with the Mariners. He's been in AAA, had 5 with the Arizona Diamondbacks. The well-traveled Willie Moe Payne. 2-1. Willie first played in the big leagues with Cincinnati. There's the right-hander.
Koji Uhara getting loose. He's traded over to the Rangers earlier this year to help them out in their bullpen.
Up the middle and out of the reach of Kinsler. A leadoff single here in the 7th inning for Willie Mo Pena. It's the 3rd inning out of 7 in which the Mariners have had the leadoff man on base.
For Willie Mo Pena, his 2nd hit of the ball game, shoots it right back up the middle. Harrison now 101 pitches. As you see, Kinsler diving up the middle to see if he can keep it on the infield or dirt. He can't do it. I think even if he comes up with it, Willie Mo will beat it out for a base hit. It's a good way to start here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Trayvon Robinson with the single to left in the 2nd. Fly to center in the 4th inning. Double play depth for the Rangers. There's a strike. So it's been a very strong outing for Matt Harrison, bidding for his 13th win. We mentioned earlier he'd become the 5th Texas pitcher with 13 or more wins. It's happened only 3 other times in the last 30 years. The 86 Mets, the 98 Braves, and the 05 Cardinals. If you go back to the Mets in the early or mid 80s, they had some great teams. There's a ball, 1-1. It was the Mets and the Cardinals were the real good teams in the National League in the middle 80s. The 86 Mets they had quite a group. They were led by Ron Darling, Sid Fernandez, and Dwight Gooden. McDowell and Ojeda were there also. They had a pretty good starting group. The 1-1 and now 1-2 on Robinson. The 98 Braves had 5 or more pitchers with at least 13 wins. That was the group led by Tom Glavine and Greg Maddux. And then the Chris Carpenter led 05 Cardinals. And now possibly the Rangers could join that group. Pretty exclusive group. Now you know the rest of the story.
You have to have run support, I think. That certainly helps in that category, and the Rangers provide a lot of it.
Yeah, and those clubs we mentioned could score some runs. 86 Mets, 98 Braves, 05 Cardinals, and if Matt Harrison wins today, the 2011 Rangers. 5 pitchers with at least 13 victories. 2-2. And that is strike 3 call. That is a pitcher's pitch. That's not one you really want to try to handle. 1 out.
After a number of off-speed pitches, Harrison still enough in the tank to throw a 92-mile-an-hour fastball in the inside corner. Ambolino, the home plate umpire, rings up Robinson, and that pitch, according to the tracer, on the corner. So Harrison now 106 pitches. Still has a decent fastball. He's topped out at 96. That last fastball at 92.
Now he'll face Alex Liddy, the 8th hitter in the order. Alex has grounded twice to the left side. Ball 1. He had the pleasure last night of making the final out against Neftali Feliz. That wasn't
if you
fun.
say so.
Boy, it was. I felt badly for him.
Sitting on the bench and comes off the bench, and Feliz is throwing 99 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's the old line. I couldn't see it, but I heard it, so I took a rip. Now it's 2-0. Liddy, in case you missed the news, the first player born in Italy to play in the major leagues since Rino Bertoia, and the first born and raised Italian, born in Italy, raised in Italy, to play in the big leagues ever. First one ever. Can Liddy deliver against Harrison? And it's 3-0. You've got Saunders on deck.
Sure, down by 3 runs. Alex will be taking this next pitch. Parr, the right-hander, down in the Rangers bullpen. He looks like he's ready to go, pacing himself in the pen now.
There's a strike. 3-1. Well, the Mariners would like to come back here and win this series. Mariners won 4-0 on Friday night. Yesterday afternoon, Texas held on for a 7-6 victory. They lead 3-0 today. And that is ball 4, so a little something stirring. This is the first time the Mariners have had more than 1 runner on base in an inning since the first.
Ron Washington trying to make some decisions here. You have the left-hander Saunders and then the left-handed hitting Ichiro on deck. Ichiro has not had a lot of success against Harrison, so even though Harrison now with 111 pitches, Washington is going to let him go, I'm sure, for the next 2 batters, even though he has the right-hander ready in the pen.
Well, Saunders hasn't gotten Ron Washington and the Rangers worried this season. He's 1 for 20 against Texas, so they think they've been able to handle him.
And he's had a tough day today. He's over 2 with a couple of strikeouts swinging. Well, Michael again hit some home runs last year. Has a chance to possibly tie the ball game. At least would like to keep the inning going.
I was going to say he hits a home run here. We'll forget everything else. Down the line, Hamilton won't get to it, but it's a foul ball. A foul ball. Saunders hitting that ball sharply.
It's a first pitch fastball, hits it the other way. You can see it slicing. Good catch by the fan. Definitely going to be a foul ball.
Right in the middle of the old pocket. Put it away. We'll talk about that for decades. Saunders, 1 strike. At second, Pena. At first, Liddy. And is a ball and a strike. Big opportunity here in the 7th. The Mariners could come from behind and win this. They'll head out on the road having won 3 of 4. It's on to Cleveland tomorrow. And then 3 at Minnesota, 3 at Texas, and back home for the final 3 of the season. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the 26th through the 28th. Outfield shades to left. Here's one pulled foul. So a ball and 2 strikes on Saunders. This is, I think, the spot we saw him in the 5th inning when we talked a little bit about Saunders and identifying what, at this point, saying to myself, hey, it's 1 and 2. What's Harrison thrown me today in this spot? What's he going to throw me here? And then being able to identify it when it leaves his hand.
Which has been his breaking ball. About 82 miles an hour.
There it is.
That's it.
Away he goes. So he strikes out. And that's 8 strikeouts for Matt Harrison, who in his career is 4-1 against the Mariners. And Harrison has been incredibly strong here. He's 2-0 lifetime at Safeco with an ERA under 2, and he certainly hasn't helped or hasn't done anything but help that here today. Pena at second, Liddy at first, 2 away for Ichiro, who's 0 for 3. He has not gotten the ball out of the infield today, and 2 for 10 in the series. Little nubber off the glove. Andrews the throw, not in time. That'll load him up. There's an infield single for Ichiro. Got down the line pretty quickly there. So the base is loaded, 2 outs.
I think Harrison able to get a piece of this as it goes by the mound. I think if he leaves it alone, Andrews, who had already started in on the ball, would have been able to make the play. Mariners catch a break as it goes off the side of his glove. And Andrews had to change directions, and by the time he comes back in, not able to get Ichiro at first as he beats it out.
Now here comes Ron Washington out. He's going to go to his bullpen. 7th inning. Mariners trail, and they're threatening.
Out of the 7th here at Safeco Field. Let's check in on Boston and Tampa Bay battling for the American League wildcard spot, going head-to-head at Fenway Park. Bottom of the 7th, Matt Joyce with a single. That will score Evan Longoria and Ben Zobrist. The Rays up 8-2. They go on to win at 8-5. So Tampa now within 2 games of the Red Sox for that American League wildcard spot. Let's rejoin Ken and Mike.
Thanks very much, Tom. New pitcher here for Texas. It's Koji Uehara, who came over at the end of July from Baltimore. Chris Davis, the first baseman infielder. Tommy Hunter, the pitcher, went to the Orioles. Kind of interesting. Uehara has struck out a lot of hitters in the games he's worked, but he's given up quite a few runs, and home runs in particular. He's allowed runs in 5 of his last 9 appearances. They're the overall numbers.
Yeah, 170 average, but 11 home runs. ERA at 2.5 and 1-3 record. 78 strikeouts and 60 2/3 innings, an impressive number. He is not an overpowering pitcher. Changes speeds, tries to paint the corners.
Here's Luis Rodriguez, big spot, bases jammed. He takes a strike with 2 outs. Rodriguez has had a big afternoon. They've not been able to retire him, batting left-handed for the first time. He has singled, walked, and doubled from the left side.
On Friday night, he had a walk-off home run. Right now, Felix would like to see him get a grand slam, Wednesday night.
Hitting .216 from this side.
Felix would like to see him do that again, throw one in the seats, get a chance to get a win.
Potential tying run, Ichiro at first. Rodriguez, the potential go-ahead run here in the 7th. He pulls it foul. 1-2.
We've seen a couple of change-ups. Both pitches that have been thrown for strikes have been on the change-up.
This is the first time since the first inning the Mariners have managed to get a runner to third. It's only the 3rd inning in which they've gotten a runner to second. Bases jammed, 2 down. Uehara working on Rodriguez, and he strikes him out. The Mariners have now struck out 10 times in this game. The 8th inning coming up. The M's trail 3-0. Going into the 8th.
Take a look at the line for Felix. 105 pitches for Felix. 72 of those for strikes. Pitched well today, 7 innings. Gave up 9 hits. 3 runs. They were all earned. Just 1 walk. 5 strikeouts for Felix today. The big hit was the 2-run homer to Beltre. Sean Kelly will take over. Kelly just 6 2/3 innings pitched. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. Opponent's average 136.
So this is the 6th appearance for Sean Kelly, not giving up a run yet. Pitched against the Yankees on Tuesday night. That was his last appearance. Went an inning and 2/3. No runs on 1 hit. Here is Michael Young, and he takes a ball. Young is 0 for 3 and 1 for 8 in the series. He's just a couple of hits away from 200. And it's 2-0. This would be, when he gets to 200, his 6th season getting 200 hits. That's getting up in some pretty fine company. He pops one up. I mean, that's way up there. Doesn't quite touch the roof. And the catch by Karp, and Young is gone. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced nor retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Adrian Beltre has had 2 hits in the 3-game series. Both of them have been home runs. Ball 1. So he's sitting on 27 home runs with 94 RBIs. That had a wonderful sound to it if you're a Rangers fan. Saunders back at the track to make the catch. Well, he hit that over 390 feet, probably a good 395, but there's plenty of real estate out there.
Skies it out to center field, takes Saunders back to the warning track. It's an easy play for Saunders. Adrian knows he missed it. The Mariners will have Ackley, Olivo, and Karp in the bottom of the 8th inning, and looks like they'll be up against Mike Adams, hard throwing right-hander that the Rangers picked up from San Diego in a trade.
Kelly works to Mike Napoli, who's 0 for 3, and that's strike 1.
There's Adams, tall right-hander.
We saw him last night get a couple outs before Feliz came on. A little off-speed pitch, gets a big piece of Olivo, and it's 2 strikes. 2 outs, nobody on here in the Texas 8th. They scored 2 in the 4th on Beltre's home run and added a 3rd run in the 6th inning on an Andrus double. Andrus double after a Kinsler single. That's been it for Texas. The Mariners have come up empty. They had 2 on with nobody out in the 1st. Had the bases loaded here just a moment ago in the 7th inning and could not score. This one in right center, and that'll get down and bang off the wall. Napoli will go into second base with a 2-out 8th inning double, and he has himself a modest 6-game hitting streak. Fans, keep your eye on going green by riding Sound Transit to work. Visit soundtransit.org for all the details. That's 10 hits now for Texas. And the batter is David Murphy, who singled his last trip. There's a strike. I mentioned the Mariners in the bottom of the 7th, leaving the bases loaded. You recall Texas failed to score, leaving the bases loaded in the top of the 7th. This one up the middle. Rodriguez, tough play. He's got to hurry, and it's not in time. Over to third goes Napoli, but Murphy runs well, and that is his 2nd infield single in as many innings.
Rodriguez makes this a closer play than I thought it was going to be. He has to range back up the middle, gets rid of it quickly, has something on it, and Murphy just beats it at first. That's close.
Yep, he got there. So Murphy at first, Napoli at third, 2 down in the 8th. And the batter is Nelson Cruz, 0 for 3.
Ken, you're talking about the Mariners leaving the bases loaded. It's been an issue for them today. 1 for 8 with men in scoring position, and the 1 hit was an infield hit from Ichiro that obviously didn't drive anybody in. But hitting with men in scoring position, coming up with those clutch hits. has been a difficult thing all year long for the Mariners.
Swing and a miss, 0-2. Of course, the Mariners have the lowest batting average. That doesn't tell you the entire offensive story, but 233. That's lowest in the league. 100 home runs they help, I understand, and only one team has fewer, so that gives you even statistically a little gist. Well, Cruz not happy with a call by Dan Bellino, but he's out on strikes. A couple of hits, 2 left for the Rangers. On to the bottom of the 8th. Texas leads 3-0. On Root Sports, brought to you by Jack in the Box. For a limited time, Jack's really big chicken sandwich combo is back for only $3.99 plus tax. By Jeep and the new 2011 Jeep Cherokee. And by Money Tree. Looking for a loan with more time to repay? Apply for a Money Tree payday loan online at moneytreeinc.com. Well, nice day at the ballpark. Kids Appreciation Day. The only thing that hasn't gone well is the Mariners haven't been able to score, and they trail 3-0 as they come up in the bottom of the 8th inning. Mike Flowers with a new pitcher.
Mike Adams, hard-throwing right-hander. The Mariners have seen him in this series. He's topping out at 95 miles an hour. His overall numbers, 19 2/3 inning, 20 strikeouts. Opponent's average 197, a 2.29 ERA. He has a 1-2 record. Fastball, slider, split.
Ackley 0 for 3. First pitch, fastball, strike call. Mariners have been out hit 11-6. Mariners have actually done a pretty good job holding Texas in this series. They've scored only 10 runs in 3 games. That's not much at all for them.
No, because they'd come in, I think it was 8 or 9 games where they were averaging 7 runs a game.
Right. They've had 7 or more runs in 7 of the last 8 games. The only one they fell short was Friday night when the Mariners shut them out. And to hold them to 7 last night and 3 tonight or this afternoon, that isn't all bad. But you'd like to win. You don't want to just hold them. Ackley strikes out, leading off the 8th inning. Folks, visit the official online shop of the Seattle Mariners at mariners.com. You know, when you get there, this is very convenient. You can browse, believe me, the largest online selection of authentic gear, including the official Mariners caps, great looking t-shirts, jerseys, all sorts of collectibles, and that's just the start of it. So get your team gear straight from the source. All you have to do is visit the mariners.com shop today. Miguel Olivo is 0 for 3. He's hit a couple of comebackers to the hill after striking out. He cuts and misses, 1 strike. The starter for Texas, Matt Harrison, shut out the Mariners on 6 hits over 6 2/3 innings. He walked 2 and struck out 9. Koji Uehara got the final out in the 7th via a strikeout. So 10 Ks for the Mariners this afternoon. They had 12 yesterday afternoon.
O'Day, number 56, right-hander submariner, getting loose. And Valdez, the other right-hander.
Breaking ball hung a bit. 0-2 on Olivo. Carp is on deck.
Olivo sees a couple of sliders to start him off.
And now, get the fishing pole.
Probably throw another slider off the plate away, don't you think, Ken?
Yes, I think maybe in the dirt. I'd look for it. There it is. Napoli throws to Murphy to finish him off. 2 up and 2 down.
Steve Delabar. Looks like he might get a chance to pitch. He's getting loose in the Mariners' pen. Steve has pitched a couple of times since being called up and has pitched well.
Here's Mike Carp. He has struck out twice, foul to left. The Mariners have struck out at least once in every inning in this game, which means Harrison, the starter, had a strikeout in every frame. And the relievers have delivered 3 consecutive strikeouts. And there's a strike.
Mariners have had a lot of young hitters in their lineup, and you're going to see the strikeouts have been piling up, especially over the last couple of weeks. They've struggled in that category. 12 strikeouts today, but that's what happens. Major league pitchers, especially when they're playing against clubs that have an opportunity. Carp drives this ball to left field.
That's well hit. Hamilton back. He leaps and oh baby, he's got it. Oh, and there's the call by Brian Gorman, the third base umpire. He wanted to be sure. What a catch by Josh Hamilton in left field. To nothing. Our Nissan shift to the bullpen. Both teams going to the bullpen, and the newest hurler is Steve Delabar.
Steve Delabar has pitched a couple of times, has yet to give up a run in his 2 innings of work, hasn't walked a batter, a couple of strikeouts. 95 miles an hour, good split, throw a slider. And a great story for Delabar.
Isn't he something? 2010 summer he played softball. coaching.
Substitute teacher.
Substitute teacher, Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Helping the baseball team, coaching. Andy Chavez, strike one. Delabar, the third hurler. And of course, had been a draft pick, a low draft pick, or a high pick, I'd say low, 29th round, something like that.
That's a low pick.
Yeah. 29th round, 2003, San Diego. Pitched 5 seasons, never above A ball. He's quickly ahead on Chavez, 2 strikes. Playing independent ball, which means the affiliated, the big league teams are seeing him cast off. 2009, fractured his arm. Got some screws, some pins in that.
A plate.
In that arm. And here he's throwing 95 in the big leagues. There's a fly ball to left. Shot out there to Robinson. Trayvon to his right makes the catch. And that's 1 out here in the 9th. College football Saturday returns this week on Root Sports. Headlined by Chris Polk and the Washington Huskies opening Pac-12 play against the California Golden Bears. The action kicks off with the SMU Mustangs taking on Memphis at 9. That's this Saturday right here on Root Sports. So Delabar now will face the top of the order. Kinsler, who's 2 for 4, had singles his last 2 times up. Ball 1. The interesting thing to me, well, there are a lot of interesting things about Steve Delabar, but when he was coaching his high school players, through a friend, he heard about a program from a fellow in Maryland, a velocity improvement program that would help the pitchers strengthen their arms and improve their arm speed. So he was toying with it a little bit, using it with his high school players in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, and you know, he kind of bought into it. And next thing you knew, he's out there. He goes, "Well, man, I guess I could throw better than I thought I could."
Well, I would say 95 miles an hour.
I'll be darned.
Here he is.
And a friend got a hold of a Mariners scout, thank goodness. And they said, "Well, let's take a look." And they said, "Yes." Down to Arizona he went. Pitched at A ball, pitched at AA, ended up at Tacoma. Gets the September call up, and he may be 28 years of age, but I'm sure he thinks he's about 12 years old right now. He's probably still excited, even in his 3rd appearance, saying, "Hey, I am Steve Delabar in the big leagues." 1-2 on Ian Kinsler. And never let it be said I wasn't a big leaguer. Look at that fella out there. I've seen this fella somewhere.
His fastball yesterday was 99 miles an hour. He didn't throw anything else but his fastball, and it was overpowering as Delabar will punch out Kinsler with a good fastball on the outside corner.
Yeah, that was 95 miles per hour.
Oh, there you go. Set up on the outer half, throws it on the corner. Kinsler just trying to spoil it, see if he can get a better pitch to hit. Couldn't handle that one. So he'll head back to the dugout.
So Delabar has gotten the first 2. Now he'll face Elvis Andrews, who's red hot. He's 2 for 4. He has 5 hits in 13 at bats in the series. Has a home run among those 5 hits. Has an RBI in this game. Bases empty, 2 down. Rangers 9th. They lead 3-0. He cranks this one. Robinson will not get to it. It bangs off the wall. Andrews heading for second. And the ball just tossed in by Robinson. So that's 3 hits this afternoon for young Elvis Andrews.
For Elvis, his second double of the game. Delabar missed with the first pitch. Felt like it was a pretty good idea. It was going to get a fastball, and it was. It was a 95 mile an hour fastball. The inner half of the plate, hit it hard.
I imagine Andrews would tell you right now that the baseball looks more like a basketball or a soccer ball than a baseball.
Yeah, he's found a way to slow the game down. The Mariners will just put Hamilton on, so they will go after Michael Young standing on deck. They'll slow the game down if you can. That's what all the guys try to do.
Yep.
Give themselves more time to react as Young will wait.
So the second one wide to Hamilton. And they'll pitch to Michael Young, who hasn't done much with a stick in this particular series. There's ball 3. The Mariners in the bottom of the 9th have Duup, Willie Mopena, Trayvon Robinson, and Alex Liddy. And you're right, you're going to be watching Neftali Feliz. There's ball 4, so you have Hamilton at first, Andrews at second with 2 down, And the cleanup hitter Michael Young, who's 0 for 4 in this game and 1 out of 9 in the series.
You were talking about Young, just a few hits away from 200 for the 6th time in his career. I started thinking about that. I'd like to know how many right-handed hitters have been able to accomplish that. Probably not many.
I can tell you this.
Yes.
That there have been 15 players in big league history with 6 or more 200 hit seasons. 15, that's it. Here's the ball driven down to the corner. Ichiro on the run. Oh, baby, nice running catch. Good defensive play by Ichiro. And that brings an end to the Rangers' 9th inning. Down to the bottom of the 9th here at Safeco. The Mariners trailing 3-0. Folks, Root Sports is looking for the biggest Mariners fans in the Northwest this month, and we want to hear from devoted fans in Washington. And we're going to be featuring fans on Mariners broadcasts throughout the month of September. So log on now to rootsports.com and show us what you've got. Show us why you're one of the Mariners' ultimate Northwest fans.
Oh, here he is, Neftali Feliz. Mariners had a good look at him yesterday. Again, his fastball was dominant, 98 to 99 miles an hour. Didn't throw anything but fastballs in the 9th inning yesterday. Had a couple of strikeouts and a ground out. Trayvon Robinson able to hit a ground ball to the second baseman and a couple of punch outs for Feliz, and he has had quite the run against the Mariners.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. Well, Willie Mo Pena will try on Feliz for size here. Feliz has had 15 appearances in his big league career against the Mariners. 15 times he's come out against the M's, and he's pitched 14 scoreless innings, and in 7 save tries he's gotten them all. Fastball, strike ball. Just to add insult to injury, in 42 at bats against Feliz, the Mariners are yet to get a hit. 3 walks though, if you feel better. 42 of the outs, 42 outs, 18 have been strikeouts. So they have nothing. There's a broken bat pop up. Backing up, Kinsler. He's got it. And Willie Mo Pena is the first out here in the 9th as the Mariners face a 3-run deficit. Well, something has to give, Mike, with Feliz sooner or later. I mean, nobody is perfect. He's pretty darn close at this point.
And again, yesterday, a lot of fastballs. He did throw a slider that time to Willie Mo Pena. He hit it off the end of the bat and busted his bat. But he has dominant stuff, and you're right. That's quite a run. Let's see the Mariners change that.
Trayvon Robinson, strike 1. We talk about youngsters. Trayvon, a perfect example. Eric Wedge and his staff getting a look at Trayvon to see what, where he might be positioned for 2012. And it's 1-1. Little off-speed pitch there. Eric Wedge, interesting. I think he's terrific at dealing with his young players.
So do I.
The other day he talked about, he said, we're trying to create champions. I like that. We're trying. He says, we're talking about learning how to win now. There's a curve. Whoa, was his arm sore or what?
Yeah, exactly. Mixing it up a little bit today. I think that's a great point, and Tom Glasgow had a chance to talk to Eric before the game, and Eric was talking about what we were talking about earlier, the young guys and playing in September and all that, and how difficult it is. It's been a long year for them. He said, hey, they need to get used to it.
Swing and a miss. Boy, talk about setting up the fastball.
Wow, 97 on that last fastball. Because he said September, we want these guys ready to play when it means something. We're going to turn this thing around. September games are supposed to be important. They need to get used to it as he elevates a fastball above the belt to Robinson that he wasn't able to catch up to.
Alex Liddy, another youngster, will be the last chance here, the last hope. And the skipper was talking about champions. He says, we want players, 1, with talent, 2, with toughness, and 3, with personality. I was kind of fascinated by the third attribute, personality. So he wants, he just doesn't want a deadbeat. He wants some guys that, I think that means heart, enthusiasm, some life on the
Moxie,
team.
Yeah.
So he says we're creating champions, players with talent, toughness, and personality. Liddy 0 for 2 plus a walk. Another breaking pitch. And the count on Alex is 1-1. Remember, Liddy saw Feliz last night. He didn't see anything soft like that, though. He struck out. He was the final out here in the early evening last night. The 1-1. And it's 2-1. It would be a moral victory just for Alex Liddy to get a hit here. Any kind of hit.
I would agree. It was tough duty coming off the bench. It was a pinch hit appearance for Liddy in last night's ball game. A chance to see what 99 miles an hour looks like. Right now, Feliz has thrown him a couple of breaking balls.
It's amazing. 2-2. 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of the ninth. The Mariners trailing 3-0. Third baseman Alex Liddy, who had a big year power-wise at Tacoma. And there is strike 3. That's how this one ends. The final score this afternoon is the Mariners are out hit 12-6. 3-0 as Matt Harrison gets the win, his 13th, and the loser is Felix Hernandez.
Former Mariner Adrian Beltre is the one that came up with the big hit, a 2-run home run off of Felix Hernandez. The Mariners offensively really couldn't get anything going off of Matt Harrison. 1 for 8 again with men in scoring position today. So they'll go out on the road for the next 7 days trying to get their offense turned around.
Well, that's the story. Thanks for being with us. Enjoyed it, and Mike enjoyed working with you.
And it was fun. Yeah, it was fun. Enjoy your winter. Hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yep, we'll have a good time. I've enjoyed being back here on Mariners baseball in 2011. Again, the final 3-0 Texas. Let's go now to Angie and Bill.
All right, guys, thank you very much. So the game ends today the same way it did yesterday with